Now, if you've watched my channel before, you already know that I am a huge fan of using stock footage. I use Premiere Pro to edit my videos, and along with my Premiere subscription, I also get access to Adobe's entire stock library. So whenever I don't have footage for something, I just look up like a kid eating cantaloupe and boom, there you go. This is the rest of the video now. It's just 20 minutes of this kid eating a cantaloupe. So one day I was browsing YouTube and I got recommended this video called "We Are Almost at the End of the Movie and we haven't even used all of our stock footage yet." And so naturally I clicked on it, and the video just shows this completely unintelligible chase scene with these random stock videos sprinkled in. And at first I thought this was just some like funny edit somebody put together, but no, it turns out this is actually a real movie that an actual person made called The Amazing Bulk. It was directed by this guy named Louis Schweinbrunn, and according to Wikipedia, he now teaches at a film school. So if this isn't evidence that you can do whatever you put your mind to, then well, I don't know what is. Now you're probably wondering what the plot of the movie is, but before we get to that, we first have to get through the production logo. Okay, it just says feature presentation. I kind of already figured that out by the length of the movie, but now it is time to see the plot. Oh, there's another, okay, and this one also says feature presentation. But anyways, the movie opens with this shot of a snowy mountain with stars soaring through this, wait a minute, this, yep, okay. This is a feature presentation, just in case if anybody didn't pick up on that yet. It'd actually be really funny if this entire movie is just logos that say feature presentation, like nothing else, just feature presentation. So the movie starts with some very awesome stock footage of the city, and if you couldn't already tell, this is all stock footage. And this is setting up a theme that you'll start to see throughout this entire film, where I'm pretty sure, actually no, I am sure that every single shot in this movie uses stock footage. Then we get introduced to this woman who's walking down these completely empty streets until she hears a cat. And I guess she goes looking for the cat because it prompts her to just start walking down this very suspicious looking alleyway. Also, in case if you somehow didn't already notice, this entire movie is shot in front of a green screen, meaning that none of the characters in this film have any shadows, which I like to think of as a very unique stylistic choice. This woman's trying to light a match while it's pouring outside. They make it seem like the city's about to flood, and she's like, damn, I couldn't find that cat. Guess I gotta light a match in the pouring rain now.
Need a light?
Yeah.
Why don't you suck on this instead?
What is happening? Is this the guy who was making the cat noises? Because if it is, I'm honestly kind of impressed. Those were very realistic. Also, I feel like the woman should have been put off by the way he was offering the lighter. It seemed very aggressive. Need some water? What the fuck?
Don't act like you've never done it before.
Now you're probably thinking, what the hell did I just watch? And these detectives are thinking the same thing too.
Well, this whole crime scene is one big mystery now, ain't it? It was lying next to the suspected mugger. Definitely wasn't his. Probably robbed it off some poor fool earlier tonight.
Henry Howard. Who the hell is this?
Yeah, I mean, isn't that your job? These detectives sound so pissed off that they don't know what's going on, but like, that's what you're getting paid to do. So some guy just came up to you and splashed you with water? I mean, yeah, pretty much. Okay, well, I don't know who did that to you, and to be quite honest, this entire situation is kind of stressing me out, so I'm just gonna leave. Good luck with everything. Wait, what? So now you're probably thinking that the rest of this movie will be dedicated to figuring out who committed this crime and what that purple monster thing is, but no. This is actually the middle of the movie, and we are about to go back in time to what is actually the real beginning of the movie so we can get the context as to what is going on currently. This is one of those types of movies. So then we're brought to our main character Hank's laboratory, which is a room with just a bunch of sinks, and we learn straight away that Hank has been trying to do some sort of experiment on this rat, and Hank is not happy because his experiment is not working.
I just can't understand why the serum keeps turning blue.
Did you try it on Billy?
Every time the serum turns blue, nothing ever happens to the rat.
The way he says that kind of scares me. Like, he doesn't care what happens to the rat, he just wants something to happen. I don't care if this rat dies or explodes or starts colonizing on Mars, I just need it to do something. Oh look, it's levitating. Then we learn that Hank is planning on proposing to this girl named Hannah.
You need to keep your head out of your ass long enough. Ask that girl to marry you. You're actually gonna ask her?
I decided to take the traditional approach and ask her father first.
You think the general's gonna give her away freely?
I don't know what he's gonna say, I just hope he keeps our professional relationship out of it.
So Hank's plan on proposing to Hannah is he's going to ask her father first. However, her father is the general who just so happens to be Hank's boss. And this plot point is what the entirety of this movie is based on, so be prepared to hear a lot about it.
Damn it, I'm sick of failure! Well, wait a minute.
The rat just died. What did I tell you? So to take Hank's mind off of the rat he just killed, which mind you is the 236th rat he's killed.
Billy? 234 or 235?
236.
Oh.
Hannah takes Hank out to lunch where we get this incredible shot of them driving in the car.
Look, I'm sorry about earlier. I'm just upset about all these failed experiments.
No shop talk. This is our time.
Deal.
Bet you can't catch me. You okay?
No, lady, you just made me run a mile. I thought we were going to lunch. So then there's a scene about them discussing if they want children, and it's revealed that Hank wants children, but he just can't have any until he finishes this experiment.
Seems we can't get away from shop talk, doesn't it?
Look, the time will be right, okay? I promise you that. You'll have a dozen children.
A dozen. Okay. And do you plan on carrying all of them? We just can't have rats for pets. Okay.
Yeah, no shit, this guy would kill them all. He's already on number 237.
Now all you have to do is get approval of marriage from the father.
I plan on asking him tonight before dinner.
Should we try it again? Maybe if you give him some good news, it will soften the blow.
So a major plot point of this movie is that Hannah's father is not very fond of Hank. However, Hank is dead set on getting his permission to marry Hannah. So he hopes that maybe if he can make this serum thing work, it'll change her father's opinion. Because keep in mind, Hannah's father is also Hank's boss. Then there is what might be the best science montage of all time. And before you know it, they are ready to kill another rat.
Don't count backwards from 10. Just don't lose it, man.
No more failures!
No more failures!
Maybe Billy 238 will be the lucky one.
What was that transition? They chose the worst possible frame to freeze on and then just slowly faded. Alright, back to the movie.
Oh, don't you look stunning.
So Hank goes to Hannah's house for dinner, and this is the big night because Hank is going to ask Hannah's father if he can have her hand in marriage. And let me just say, this father's introduction is one of the best in any movie I have ever seen.
I hate dust. I don't want it building up in my home. You let dust build up, and before you know it, you've got an army of dust bunnies plotting to take over. Beautiful flowers. Where did you get those from? Our garden?
No, Daddy, Hank brought them.
The pacing of this scene is so weird. Like within a heartbeat, he goes from rambling about how dust bunnies are about to take over the world to nice flowers. You got those from our yard?
Actually, no, it's not about the experiment. It's about the...
Wait. So as you could probably already guess, Hank asking to marry Hannah does not go well.
I want to marry her.
You knock up my little girl, is that it, huh?
Of course not.
Then why? What's the reason, pissant?
What did he say?
What's the reason, pissant?
What's your reason, piss ant? Did he just call him a piss ant?
So do I have your blessing?
Okay, I've been siding with Hank this whole time, but I don't think asking if you have his blessing after he just called you a piss ant is a very good idea.
The government will stop funding this project unless you start showing some goddamn results. And until I see some, I sure as hell ain't gonna let you marry my daughter.
So Hank finds out that in order to marry Hannah, he has to make the serum work. Which, I don't know why Hank just can't forget about the father, because the father honestly kind of seems like a dick. But Hank leaves in a fury. And then we cut to this random medieval castle. And then this girl starts dancing, and this scene goes on for half a minute. This dude's face was my reaction when I first watched this. Oh God, is he okay? Finally, we are saved from this scene by Pookie Bear.
Oh, Pookie Bear, where have you been?
And not to give too many spoilers, but this guy is a bit of a villain. And he has an unhealthy obsession with nukes. And I'm pretty sure he has erectile dysfunction.
Oh, Pookie, make love to me like you used to.
Oh no, you silly woman, you know I can't do that anymore.
This is a reoccurring joke in the movie, but I'm gonna spare you and just leave it to this one. So we find out that this guy whose name is Dr. KLove is not a very nice guy. And he decides to interrogate these guards because they watch this girl dance even though she's the one who just walked in front of them and started to dance.
Well,
No, Dr. KLove! I mean, KLove, sir!
Knockoff.
What was that? What was he trying to achieve with that?
So you like to make funny gesture when I'm not looking, do you?
I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
So anyways, I'm covered in water now and this detective guy just walks away from me because he's like stressed out or something and what was that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You literally just did that right in front of me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What the fuck is going on today? So then Mr. KLove kills this guy because he made a funny face, as one does. And then this really awkward scene happens.
Would you like something, big?
Yes.
Would you like something, hard?
Yes, yes.
Now this next scene actually goes pretty hard. Mr. KLove puts on Beethoven's 9th Symphony and launches a nuke to blow up the Institute of German Scientists. There's no reason ever given as to why, he just does it. And so you're probably thinking, alright, this guy clearly is a jerk. He just blew up the Institute of German Scientists. This is a pretty big deal, but now he has gotten his daily fix of blowing things up. No, his Pookie Bear says, please can we blow some more things up? And then he proceeds to blow up every national monument you could think of. Then we cut back to Hank and Anna on a date. There's this really cool roller coaster scene, and then as they are heading back on the subway, Hank is about to propose to Hannah, which completely ignores the entire plot point of Hank wanting to win approval from her father, but that doesn't matter because they get mugged.
Hank, look out!
You move a muscle, and you and the girl die.
And Hank loses the ring and his wallet. And if you don't recognize this guy, this is the criminal from the beginning of the movie. It's all starting to come together. Then they just casually go back to Hannah's place and Hank suddenly changes his mind back to wanting to win over approval from the father again.
I hate dust.
It's really confusing. And so after their date and getting mugged, Hank just decides to leave and go back to the lab to work on this serum.
I'm out of here.
Hannah, wait.
But this time, things are different.
Wait a minute.
Oh my god, he brought a plant back to life. And for some reason, he just isn't satisfied by this.
God, it's just not enough.
I mean, I'm pretty sure if someone actually came up with this invention, it would unironically change the entire world. But Hank is like, nah, that's not good enough. I gotta inject myself with this stuff. So then we are teleported back to the beginning of the movie, which is actually the middle of the movie, and it is revealed that the big purple monster from the beginning of the movie was actually Hank this whole time. Because this movie is actually just a ripoff of The Incredible Hulk. The stuff he injected himself with turns him into a monster when he gets angry. So Hank kills the robber and finds the lost wedding ring, but the ring is not in the box. So then Hank just runs away, completely forgetting about his wallet. And if you remember back to the beginning of the movie, Hank's wallet is actually what the detectives found. This is a very deep movie. Back at the castle, it's revealed that the robber actually sold Hank's ring to these two random guys, and they are now selling it to Dr. KLove. It seems like they're setting up some big plot point here where if Hank is gonna fight to get his ring back, but no, this is just never brought up again throughout the rest of the movie.
Hello? Anybody in there?
Hold on, I'm coming.
It's the police. Now, will you open while I'm still old?
So what do you want, anyway?
Sorry. Did we wake ya?
Yeah, it's all right. I overslept anyway.
When were you born?
Why does he look so mortified by that? What happened on his birthday?
Give him his wallet back, jeez.
I thank you for, delivering this. Thought I'd never see it again.
So Hank gets his wallet back, but it turns out he slipped up while talking to the police, and now they know something is up. But for some reason, this cop is just completely opposed to telling the other cop that he knows Hank is guilty.
Don't play coy with me, Garton. You got the look on your face.
Yeah, what look you talking about?
The look when you know something that I don't.
Oh yeah, that look. I believe I do know the one.
Spill the beans, will ya? Or I'll be forced to resort to violence.
Whoa, why is the first thing she resorts to violence? I feel like they should be going after her instead of the Hank guy.
How come our sweet and innocent Henry knew that the mugger killed a prostitute?
Okay. What else? Spit it out, will ya?
Why is this guy so opposed to telling her Hank is guilty? Isn't that like their job?
I didn't get this from the peanut butter and jelly sandwich I had for lunch today.
Alright, maybe he should have stayed quiet. So then Hank goes back to the crime scene to reminisce on the good old times, but he gets cut short by the police, which makes him a little bit angry, and I bet you can guess what happens next. I like how he's not transforming, he's just having a mental breakdown in front of the cops.
What the hell is that?
Well, it ain't Barney the Purple Dinosaur!
Then comes the second worst chase scene I've ever seen in any movie. The reason why this is not the first is because this movie actually has two chase scenes. Hank goes on a little jog, just casually blowing up every car in sight. You know, they really tried to make it seem like Hank isn't intentionally trying to be a criminal in this movie, but he could at least put in a little bit of effort to not just ram into these cars. We also get these really awesome shots of the police chasing after him. Then just randomly in the middle of this chase, they decide to introduce brand new characters.
You gotta move in a little closer. I need a better shot.
Closer? You gotta be out of your mind! I don't know what the hell that thing is down there, and I sure as hell don't want to find out!
I'm telling you, you need to get closer. I don't have a shot. This could be our big ticket to bigger, better things. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'll get a little closer. Just a little though.
I love how dramatic the music is here. Oh my god, look at this flower. It's so pretty. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit.
Right, you're not gonna regret this. I'm telling you, this could be our big shot. You know what I'm saying? A big payoff.
Whoa, okay, maybe the girl was onto something. That's way too close. And they're practically touching the traffic lights. So the chase continues. They keep reusing the same shots with just a different background. But then out of nowhere, this happens.
Look out! Lisa!
Okay, I get this is supposed to be like a serious scene and all, but she could have at least tried to avoid the car. She literally just fell down exactly where it was going to land.
Come on, get in there. Get closer in there. This is gonna be the big ultimate death scene. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not too sure about this. We're close enough already, aren't we?
Yeah, there's literally no more room for you to go any further. If anything, he's gonna get a worse shot. This guy is literally just filming the ground.
Oh my god, you gotta see this. Get us in closer, right? They gotta get a good shot. Come on, I need to zoom in.
I can see the headlines now. It's gonna be super pilot and amazingly charming cameraman, dancers and all.
Wait. Does this guy think the news is gonna write a story about him? They're gonna be like, yeah, this purple monster terrorized the city yesterday, but man, you gotta see the cameraman who filmed this thing. Look at these crazy angles he got.
I like the sound of that! Allow me to zoom in on the action!
Okay, just get out of the helicopter at this point. You're gonna get the exact same shot. Honestly, deserved. So now Hank is all sad that he destroyed the city and whatnot, and the police finally catch up to him and he gets arrested.
You son of a bitch!
Oh. Now for plan B.
Jesus. I don't think this guy should be a cop. Also, I don't know what the point of plan B was, because in the next scene he's in jail, so I guess he was just getting his anger out.
I've lost track of time in this prison. 10 days could have passed, or 10 years. I can't tell the difference.
Okay, I think he would have known if it had been 10 years. I think he would have at least had a little sense that it was a long time. So then the angry cop comes into his cell and attempts to shoot him, which I don't think is how it works. I think the cop would be losing his job if this happened. But we are saved because Hannah's father comes to pick up Hank. And now he's a villain.
What's up, Doc?
What's going on?
Don't worry about that now, Henry. Just go back to sleep.
Wait, did he just call him Henry? I swear his name was Hank. Yeah, look, in this scene the guy says Earth to Hank.
Earth to Hank.
Wait, now that I think about it though, the ID at the beginning of the movie said Henry.
Henry Howard.
Did they just forget the main character's name halfway through making this movie? Well, I'm gonna keep calling him Hank. I like that name better. As they're wheeling Hank away, he attempts to enter bulk mode, but they inject him with an anesthetic.
Sweet dreams, you purple pile of cow dung.
Damn, this guy is ruthless. First he calls Hank a pissant and now a purple pile of cow dung. Then we head back to the castle and uh-oh, the villains are feeling a little bit bored. I bet you'll never guess what happens next.
Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we blow something up?
I have reached an important decision.
What is it?
I have decided not to blow up any more historical monuments or buildings.
Oh, well, thank God. Give this guy a Nobel Peace Prize or something. He is doing God's work.
I'm going to up the ante.
I don't understand.
I'm going to send up a Saturn V rocket and blow up the moon.
Yep, he's blowing up the moon now. Also, I gotta ask, how has no one tried to, find this guy? Like, he literally blew up half of the world, and now he's launching a rocket to space, and nobody in this movie seems to have taken notice to him. And so Dr. KLove launches the rocket, but I gotta warn you, this next scene is a little bit 18 plus, if you know what I mean. Satellite sex. There's satellite. Now that that's done, we head back to Hank, and we find out that Hank is in deep water because he injected himself with the serum that is meant to turn people into superhumans. But Hank tells Hannah's father that he actually injected himself for Hannah, and so Hannah's father says that now Hank has the permission to marry his daughter. This entire movie is a fever dream. Long story short, there's now an antidote for the serum, even though the serum took like 5 years to develop. But before Hank can get the serum, he first has to go on a mission to stop Dr. KLove. Not because they feel Dr. KLove is a threat, but because he's all over the news.
He's sending off missiles, blowing up monuments around the world. It's all over the news.
So they send Hank off to go save the world, but they couldn't get too close or else they'd be caught, so Hank has to go for a bit of a jog.
We're almost to the checkpoint. Any closer and Cal will pick me up on the radar.
Just a few more miles to KLove's hidden castle. I'm already one step closer to spending my life with Hannah.
And while he does that, we cut back to the rocket that is being sent to the moon, and I have no words for what happens here.
No more honeymoon or reruns for me. The time is now. Oh. One of these days.
So Hank's taking a leisurely stroll to go save the world, nothing too crazy. He casually walks past this leprechaun. And honestly, I'm starting to think that maybe that video title was correct. I think they got to the end of the movie and went, oh shit, we bought all this stock footage. We gotta put it somewhere. So now Hank is at the castle, and of course, he has to get angry, but he just can't. So, in order to help himself, he takes out this picture of Hannah's father and just gets absolutely enraged. I wonder if he brought that for himself or if Hannah's father just slipped it in his pocket because he knew how much Hank hated him. Then Hank goes on a killing spree while in bulk mode. Dr. KLove tries to crush him with a boulder, and then this scene happens.
Is that you, baby? That's where you've been spending your free time. At the gym. My, oh my. You've grown since the last time we played. What have you done to your face? I love it!
Yeah, I don't know why the movie cuts to this image here, but I've honestly just learned to accept it at this point. Also, randomly while Hank is breaking into the castle, there's just a Family Guy cutaway gag.
This is worse than the time the flying saucer broke down, and that little green alien came to the door asking to use their phone.
And at long last, Hank makes it to Dr. KLove, and right before Hank kills him, there's just a huge lore drop for Dr. KLove.
What is it you want? What is it, a girl you want? Maybe I can help you. You remember Frankenstein? It was me who fixed him up with the bride.
He's Dr. Frankenstein? I feel like this was a very important piece of information, and they drop it in like the last 15 minutes of this film.
No, please, no!
Hank heads outside to tell Hannah's father he was victorious, but then out of nowhere, he starts getting bombed. Because guess what? Hannah's father was lying the whole time. The anecdote wasn't even real.
I'm afraid I wasn't telling the truth, Henry. There is no antidote.
What do you mean?
You see, the government stopped funding my project 2 years ago. So I looked elsewhere for funding. Dr. KLove was more than willing to dole out any amount of cash. Now that you created the serum and proved it successful, I no longer needed his backing. So I had no choice other than to eliminate it. And now I shall eliminate you.
You bastard!
So remember how I said the previous chase scene was the second worst chase scene I've ever seen? Well, prepare for the worst.
Drop the bomb.
Affirmative. Mission accomplished.
Good job, soldier.
Yeah, so Hank dies, and as expected, Hannah is very upset.
Cupcake. What's wrong?
But then, completely unexplained as to how this happens, Hank just revives himself.
Hank, you're alive. I thought I lost you.
Look, Hannah, there's something I've been wanting to tell you for a long time. Hannah, will you marry me?
And so Hank proposes to Hannah, and they live happily ever after.
Of course I'll marry you.
Not, because Hannah's father runs up to Hank and pushes him off of the balcony, killing both of them. I did not see this coming. And well, that's just kind of where the movie ends. Hannah goes to say her goodbyes to Hank, which is honestly kind of really depressing.
I need to say goodbye to you. That's why I came here.
And then there's just randomly a cliffhanger at the end, but there was never a sequel to the movie, so I don't know if this was ever planned at some point, and if it was, I'm honestly kind of disappointed it never happened. And yeah, that is the fever dream that is The Amazing Bulk. I had to watch this movie 3 times while making this video. Please subscribe.